Hello everyone, this is Stuart, ready to do another pregnancy video. Today my wife starts week 19 and things are continuing to go very well. This pregnancy is going by a lot faster than I realized. We're almost at that halfway mark, probably could be that halfway mark, but still got a long ways to go. So not too much has changed from last week, and most of that is because I've been too busy with school, and my wife has been really busy with school for us to really notice anything else going on with the pregnancy. But we have been able to continue to feel our baby move at least, which is nice. Usually we only have time to keep track of what's going on with pregnancy as right before we go to bed, but hey, everything's still continuing to go well, so we're happy about that. We do notice though that my wife is definitely starting to grow bigger. Her pregnancy belly is starting to make itself a little bit more apparent, and along with that she is really starting to feel the stretch with the muscles. She can sometimes feel some pain like down in the lower abdomen or sometimes down near the thighs, and most of that's just because her stomach is starting to grow and her muscles and ligaments are starting to stretch beyond their normal limits. So it's not too bad from what she tells me. It's uncomfortable at times, but it's not like she's in constant pain. She can sometimes feel it like if she stretches a certain way, but she's only going to continue to grow bigger from here. So she's slowly getting used to the feeling and the sensation. But yeah, it is sometimes bothersome for her because it makes it hard for her to get comfy if the way she sits or lies down stretches some of those already sore muscles. But she's getting pretty used to different positions for sitting and lying down, so overall it's not bothering her too much. She is able to feel the baby kick a lot easier compared to the past few weeks where it was kind of hard to tell, where it's just little tiny movements. She can definitely feel it on a constant basis now. I unfortunately still cannot really feel it. I'm able to feel it every once in a while, but it's still a very rare occasion for me. Like I can feel a small, I don't know if you can really tell how hard that is, but it's just a small thud, just a very small sensation. And it's sometimes really hard for me to tell if I've actually felt the kick. There's only been like 1 or 2 times where I definitely knew I felt a kick. And of course the hard part is trying to actually be there on time. My wife will start to feel movement, and by the time I'm able to get over and try to feel where the baby's kicking, baby's stopped moving or has moved to another side of her stomach. And so in a sense I'm kind of bummed that I can't feel it quite as hard yet, but I mean, we're only just barely starting week 19, so I can't expect too much yet. Like I've said in previous videos, I'll probably be able to feel it a lot easier here in the next few weeks, hopefully soon, but until then I'm just going to have to be patient and trust my wife that baby is moving a lot. Speaking about movement, my wife does realize that the baby moves a lot right after she eats, or usually right before we go to sleep. And the latter kind of annoys her because she'll try to go to sleep and get comfy and baby will all of a sudden start moving. So I kind of blame my wife for that because she's the one that's a night owl. I'm not too keen on staying up late. I mean, I can do it, but I prefer to kind of go to bed early-ish and wake up super early. So I will take full responsibility every time the child wakes her up at 5 in the morning to eat something, or if the child starts wiggling at 6 o'clock and it wakes my wife up. I take full responsibility for that. I'm the morning person. So because the baby's moving a lot right after food or right before sleep, we have had a little bit of fun to see if baby responds to anything else, like any music, for example, or my voice. It's kind of hard to tell if baby moves because of external stimuli or not, but we try to have fun with that anyway. One of the reasons is that when my wife was a baby, I guess the easiest way to say it is when my mother-in-law was pregnant with my wife, supposedly my wife moved a lot whenever Disney films were playing in the background. especially in the movie Aladdin. So my wife is kind of interested in that, like, hey, maybe our child will be interested in Disney movies too, and tries to wants to put on Disney films and all that too, see if the baby will move. And that'll be interesting to see if that happens. But I keep telling my wife, well, if we're going to test Disney films, I need to see if a baby reacts to classic Nintendo video games, you know, like the original Super Mario Brothers or something like that. I mean, come on. That would be really cool. I mean, if Disney's up for grabs here, I mean, I can try to see if baby responds to Nintendo stuff, right? But I mean, I think at this point, baby doesn't really understand what either of them would be. So just because baby moves to one thing doesn't mean that you're going to be interested in one thing or the other anyway. So, but it's just fun to see if baby reacts to certain music or whatnot. But concerning music, we're not going to try to, you know, like pump the womb full of classical music or educational ABC songs or whatever. No, we've decided we're not going to try to do any sort of early pre-birth education type stuff. There's just no point. The baby can't understand anything, and we'll worry about that when the child grows up. You know, I mean, sure, the classical music will be nice and soothing for like naps or whatnot, but I don't know if it's really necessary to try to teach the kid to recognize Beethoven before the baby's been born. I don't even know if baby can hear or understand sounds that well yet, so yeah, we're not gonna like get into those, you know, big headphones that some women put around their bellies. I'm not saying that's bad or anything like that. I just don't think that's necessary. So we're not really going to try any of that, but so that's really it for this video. Shorter than most weeks, like I said, because both of us were really busy this week with lots of school stuff, but I can say that everything continues to go very well, and we look forward to talking with you guys next week, because next week we actually get to reveal the gender. So if you haven't seen my previous video, week 18, go over there. That is where I'm doing the poll for guessing whether we're having a boy or girl. Cast your vote, and we'll see if you're right. I mean, only bragging rights are at stake, so I mean, best of luck to you all, and we will let you know next week what's going on. Stay awesome, Internet. Hope to see you next week.